The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined by my co-host, UPenn's finest, DC, Daniel Cole. We're back with another episode. We took last week off due to the DeMar Hamlin situation. We just, football wasn't on our mind. Just sports wasn't on the mind. We wanted to, take a week to refresh. But we are back. We got a great episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking, obviously, some football stuff, playoff preview. It's coming up. It's right here. The season flew by. And we're here. And we're also going to be talking about some bubble teams, teams that just missed out. Lions, Steelers, Patriots, Jets, teams that it took till the very end to get them out. But the future is looking bright. We're talking teams that are like truly maybe a piece away from being in the playoffs and contending. And then one more thing, we're going to transition to some NBA. We're going to take the skyline on Kyrie Irving. Would you rather have this player or Kyrie Irving? I might be a little biased. Kyrie Irving is my favorite basketball player in the world, skill-wise. Danny knows I've always looked up to him. But before any of that, of course, we got to do summits and plummets. I'm going to kick it to Danny. Danny, how are you doing today? Get right into them summits and plummets.
Now, Philadelphia, it's a beautiful day. School's starting back up tomorrow. But I'm going to kick off with my plummet. My plummet goes to the New York Mets. They thought they stole Carlos Correa from the Giants, but it happens that the Twins just said, nope, he's not on the Mets either. He's on the Twins. 6-year, $200 million. Breaking news this morning.
Yeah, man. When he's healthy, he's a baller. But you just gotta be careful with him. But he stays healthy. Obviously, big move for the Twins. I do agree. I'm gonna pick up my plummet too. I'm gonna go with the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns were, look, the last 2 years they had a great run. They made it to the NBA Finals after beating LeBron, and they had a great run. Next year they're the best team record wise in the NBA, and unfortunately you lose the 7 to Luka Doncic, and then this year Devin Booker goes down. You're sitting at 20 and 21. Your window isn't as open as you think it is, and especially with Chris Paul aging, he's aging pretty poorly. As seen this year, but credit to him, he's at it for a long time. But the Phoenix Suns, you better pick it up now, or you're going to find yourself in the play-in. And look, there's some teams sitting outside the play-in that are sneaking up. The Lakers are a game behind, or they might be a game and a half with the loss last night, without LeBron, without AD, but AD's coming back. I'd step on it because, teams like the Wolves, the Lakers, if you meet them in the play-in, that's not really a team you want, one game and you're in, and anything's possible at that point. One game, LeBron James, I'm betting the house on him. That. I'm going to kick it right back to you for your summit. By all means, go ahead.
Yeah, my summit, it's going to stay in football. There's a lot of football. My summit is Pete Carroll. He got disrespected for a very long time. A lot of people saying, oh, Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll's really not a good coach. He just took a team whose expectation was to win 3 games to the playoffs.
Unreal, man. Unreal job.
Pete Carroll's that guy. He's been that guy for a long time. I believe he's the oldest coach in the NFL.
Him or Bill. I think it's Bill Belichick, but they're kicking it, man. They're still kicking it.
Yeah, but Pete Carroll's been around for a very long time. His old style of football, I don't know. He doesn't really have an old style of football. He likes to let his QB sling the rock and go for it. And I think that really speaks like words. He really trusts Geno Smith. And here's the thing, though. My only problem is they're playing the team that could have been the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And the team that they've lost to twice this season. And as you've always said this, and that it's hard to beat a team twice in a season. It might be even harder to beat them 3 times.
Yeah. But as talented as the 49ers are, of course, I'm picking them. They are favorited. But if the Seahawks were to win for any reason, it is Pete Carroll. He's been through the mud. He's seen the highs of highs in football, Super Bowl winner, Super Bowl loser. And he got a lot of crap for throwing the ball on the 1-yard line, but it's been heavily speculated that was an audible. He was going to give it to Marshawn. They were going to go back to back, and, new dynasty was born. Credit to Pete Carroll. He's been through everything. He's always kept a good run game. He's always made his defense tolerable. This defensive unit is the most talented, but he's got the most out of course, Tariq Woolen. Amazing. Him and Kobe Bryant have been a great rookie duo. Yeah, I think he deserves heavy coach of the year conversation. I think so. I mean, yeah, like you said, 3-win team. They're in the playoffs. They might not go far, but damn it, he took a journeyman quarterback and he broke the passing yard record in Seattle franchise history. So, I think that's a good one. Um, I want to go. My summit is going to be my Philadelphia Eagles. We didn't play pretty, and I was there at the game. No, it wasn't pretty at all. They started out firing with like a 51-yard slant route. AJ Brown ran it all the way down. He got hawked. I told him he was slow as shit, but you lock up the 1 seed, and while it wasn't pretty, now you get 2 weeks to we can hit. You get to rest your guys up. Lane Johnson gets more rest. Avonte Maddox gets more rest. Hurts gets more rest. CJ Gardner Johnson gets more rest. Everybody gets more rest. You get 2 weeks to fix the little stuff. Like Jalen Hurts said to the team, like you've yet to play their best football, and you get a whole week to just look in front of you. The whole field is in front of you. You get to like sit back, see what you're looking at. And it's going to be very interesting. And with that, I think we can go right into the playoff preview. We were originally going to do bubble teams to contenders, but as we're on the topic of the Eagles, playoff preview, starting in the NFC.
Well,
Go
I like
ahead,
to
Danny.
kick it off. You said Pete Carroll should have consideration for Coach of the Year. I would like to kick it off with the guy who took his team to the playoffs from the number 1 overall pick last year, Doug Peterson. He should be Coach of the Year.
I think that's a great one. I think the Jacksonville team's a little talented. I would pick Dable, but Dougie P, absolutely, I love that.
I mean, Doug Peterson, he has this charisma and this spark with every team. And if you're asking me, he should have never been fired from the Eagles. Like it was his time to go.
I love Nick I
saying.
love Nick Sirianni to death, but if we could do it all over again, I personally would not have fired Doug Peterson. But I mean, getting into that matchup of Chargers Jags, I told you this the other day when we were on the way back home from the gym. I don't want the Chargers to get ahead of themselves. They finished the season strong.
It's not looking good.
And it could be like the Steelers situation. Like, oh, we're overlooking Jacksonville. We're gonna go meet the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. But like, hold on now. Like, they beat you already. And in the Chargers, they whooped you. Mind you, like they weren't healthy, and Herbert was playing on injured ribs. Still, though, if no one's hotter than this Jacksonville team, ending the year 5-0. I mean, not the prettiest games, but they beat the Cowboys. They came back and beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a solid, very solid team and should be labeled as contenders. And of course, it wasn't a pretty win over Tennessee, but a win is a win. And Chargers know very well, you got to get wins how you can because they haven't been blowing teams out either. I'm very excited for this one. I think you feel the same way.
Yeah, I think someone was like, one of our friends said, you want to go see the Philadelphia Wings play, or do you want to see, are you watching NFL football? I said, this is Chargers Jags. We're not seeing a lacrosse team play. We're seeing Chargers Jags.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these are two of my favorite quarterbacks. I mean, Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, two of the most physically gifted quarterbacks, the arm strength, the mobility, the pocket presence.
It is their playoff debut for
both of them. Both of them, man. It's gonna be great. But if we're obviously gonna save like the final picks. Me and Danny are gonna get our picks out on TikTok, Instagram Reels. I hope you guys been seeing that. But yeah, this is gonna be a good one, and honestly, win-win for me, quarterback wise. Anything before we move on to the next AFC matchup?
I think Mike Williams is going to be an X factor in this game. And I told you this when we were watching the AFC South deciding game. I said Tyson Campbell is the X
super
factor.
underrated. Underrated.
He is a top 15 corner in the NFL. He's, I believe, a second-year player. He is going to be the difference in this game. If they can shut down Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, the Chargers might go down once more. Sorry, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see. That's one of the games I'm looking forward to, and of course, these next two games and Bills, Dolphins, and Bengals, Ravens. How much speculation what can we really talk about right now? Because
I think there's a lot
the whole thing can flip if the Ravens and Dolphins quarterbacks are healthy. I mean, that changes the game a lot.
Okay, well, here's what I'll say. We've seen both teams play already when the other quarterback was playing. So we saw the Ravens and Bengals both play with Lamar, and Burrow both healthy, and we also saw the Bills and Dolphins play with Tua and Allen healthy.
Yeah, we seen them play twice, and they split in two very good games, like very good.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson are a bottom 10 team in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get the ball to the playmakers. What's going to happen?
I think Tyreek and Waddle had like 45 yards combined at halftime.
Yeah, you got to get your ball to your playmakers, and if you don't got a guy out there who can do it, then the Dolphins will be in trouble. And I mean, even with the Ravens, even if Lamar plays, I think I'll still go with the Bengals. But I mean, like Lamar, that's how superhuman Lamar is. Like he can, if he's playing, the Ravens got a good shot. I would say like a 40% shot just with him in the game. But I mean, if he's not playing, it's over. Like
Here's
Anthony Brown and Tyler Huntley are unplayable.
There's a guy named Joe Burrow and his little pal from LSU. He is very good.
He's very good. He's very good.
And Jamar Chase, they will own the Ravens secondary.
Absolutely.
And we saw that happen before.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's unfortunately like that's just not something the Ravens like. There's not a guy they're banking on to come back, but they do have Lamar Jackson. Like that. That's my only argument for the Ravens is that they have Lamar. So, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I think I take the Bengals anyway. I think almost same with the Bills situation. Like, I don't know if Tua's coming back this week. I mean, they're really concerned about his health. But if he is playing, that could be like wild card, game of the weekend in the wild card. But moving and the NFC is going to be loud too. Talking Vikings Giants, I believe in the Giants. Their 2-2 ending is not it. That wasn't a 2-2 ending. Like they finished hot, I believe.
Yes and no. They really finished 2-1. They didn't play their starters.
I think there's still merit to take away from that loss too. But yeah, I'll let you go.
Yeah, I think they're a deep team. I think they're a deep team that's built around their defense. And if you look around the teams that the Giants won the Super Bowl with, they were underdogs who had a good defense, who had Eli Manning, who was notably kind of built like Daniel Jones, and that's why they took him. And they had a good run game. And if you look at what they're doing now, that's exact formula. But the problem is the NFL is not the same as it was 12 years ago. You need to be able to throw the ball in the end of the game. And we saw what Mahomes did. 13 seconds left. Beat the Bills.
I think Daniel Jones finished the year pretty fine passing. I think
he finished fine.
Yeah, he torched the Colts secondary, that's a game you kind of need, regardless if it's the Colts or not. That's a game you kind of need from your young quarterback. And then against Minnesota, I think we both watched the game and we both were saying the same things. Is Daniel Jones getting sold by his receiver? Like that's the first time you ever hear that, and it's almost a good thing. Like Daniel Jones is capable of a carry job, and he lost by 3. He lost by 3 to the 3-seeded Vikings, who had to make a 61-yard field goal. Like only the Giants will lose on that, I promise you. Like they lost to the Eagles a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Stetson Bennett is 4 months younger than Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones, I'm not to say he has time. I mean, like Stetson Bennett's old as shit, but Daniel Jones, I mean, he finished the year pretty strong. I think he finished the year very strong, and like you were alluding to, run game, heavy defense. If get the pressure on Kirk, how effective will Justin Jefferson be if you can get the pressure on Kirk? I mean, obviously he's going to get the ball out. Justin Jefferson gets open pretty fast. But use Saquon, use the quick RPO game, use Daniel Jones' legs, like use everything you got, because this Vikings team is very beatable, as we've seen this year. They're the 3 seed and they have a horrible point differential. I mean, that's what I mean. I think the Vikings got the keys, they got the juice to be able to take down the Vikings.
The Vikings have a horrible point differential is because when they lose, they lose
bad. They lose bad, man. They lose bad.
40-3 to the Cowboys is not good. But when they're winning, they're winning close games, and that's why. But still, here's the thing: point differential never. It only makes it shows a lot if you're positive. If you're negative and you have a good record, it doesn't say that much about you, is my opinion. Because what it's telling me if it's negative is that you have the guts to win close games.
And I mean, there's some games where you really got to step up to the plate, signature win, and then you wet the bed. But I do get, I do
if it's
get
a
what you mean.
bigger like point differential, like the Eagles and Niners, what you're basically seeing is that when they win, they're blowing teams out.
Exactly.
They are killing teams.
Those two teams take care of business.
When they lost, it was close games. What did they lose by 6 to the Cowboys?
Yeah.
They lost by 5 to the Commanders, and they lost by 10 to the Saints, and that pick 6 at the end.
Yeah, I mean 10 is 10 regardless. I mean, pick 6 was like the closer. But we talked a little about Niners Seahawks. I mean, we're both really pretty much taking Niners. If the Seahawks have any shot, it's because they got Pete Carroll and an improved Geno Smith. But I mean, I think the biggest game this weekend is Bucks Cowboys. I mean, Dak Prescott, you're under immense pressure, dude. Like a lot. You're the most slandered QB in the NFL, and you got to go. You have to go into Tampa. I mean, against an aging Tom Brady, and it's like, oh well, it's Tom Brady, but I mean, this Bucks team has been simply unimpressive. How is Dak Prescott going to react against one of the best defenses in the NFL?
What I'll tell you is this: Dak Prescott, what was he got? 2 years left in his contract.
Something like that, yeah.
He's gonna go, and McCarthy's gonna go if they don't get this win.
I don't think it's out of the realm. I think it's fair to give Dak another shot with like an actual head coach. Mike McCarthy, he took a couple years away from the game, came back. It's like, oh, I'm innovative now, but you're really not. And then Kellen Moore's play calling is too hit or miss for me. It's like this dude I truly see him like head coach level, and then some games it's like, man, like, damn.
You know, a lot of people are like, oh, the Broncos should give up a first for Sean Payton. You know, really should, because they don't need. They just need a coach. The Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean the
Cowboys,
team is stacked.
If you were to give them, the Cowboys don't need their first. Like
no, not at all. They don't need more guys. This is one of the most talented rosters in the NFL.
If you were to give them, say, hey, we'll give you our first to the Saints. It's going to be late, so whatever. We'll say Sean Payton. And if Sean Payton said, okay, I'll coach in Dallas.
That's a Super Bowl contender.
That team goes from 13-4 to
15
I don't even know.
15-2
probably.
2 area. But yeah, I agree. But with the Cowboys have all the goods to beat the Buccaneers. I mean, they have a stout run defense. Buccaneers can't run the ball. They have a good run defense. Like the Bucs have a good run defense, but the Cowboys have one of the best run games in the league. I mean, second in touchdowns only to the Eagles. I mean, they're top 5 in yards. They have 2 backs who are, Pro Bowl level. Zeke, maybe a little less, a little more. Depends how you feel about him. But, I mean, the Cowboys on paper can beat them. But why is the world picking the Buccaneers? Because they have Tom Brady and the Cowboys are going to Cowboy. Dak Prescott needs to change the narrative this weekend. He can't say, oh, Cowboys going to Cowboys. Dak Prescott has to prove that this is why you're one of the 8 to 10 best quarterbacks in the league. You can't just keep feasting on these NFC East teams. You have to go win a game against the GOAT. And I think me and you both agree. This is going to be a huge game. It's going to be fun.
Huge game. I believe it's Monday night, correct?
Yep. It's going to be a Monday night game. So if Vikings and Niners take care of business, all Eagles' eyes are going to be on this game.
Yeah, and we might get to set up for an Eagles-Cowboys.
Yeah, and that would be fun. But we're going to move on to teams that didn't quite make the postseason, but future's bright. The bubble teams.
Wait. We didn't discuss the Niners and the.
Oh yeah, we tapped into it a little bit. Yeah, Niners are probably going to win. If the Seahawks have a chance, it's because they have Pete Carroll and Geno Smith's improved. But to the bubble team, I have an idea of what team you want to do. So I'm going to let you take the floor because I think you have a really good argument for this one.
I'm going to start off. I might go where you want in a minute, but my team I'm going to start off with is the Packers. I was pulling for them that game. If Rodgers retires, they're in a really weird spot right now. If Rodgers retires, you have to start Jordan Love. Is Jordan Love going to elevate the team, keep them the same? Maybe it's a downgrade. You don't know. Rodgers could just say, I want out and I want to go to Miami, and they get a big package.
It's possible.
Like, Rodgers could go anywhere. He could retire. He could go back to TV. He could go in a cave in the middle of nowhere and just beat Rodgers.
Most normal Aaron Rodgers outcome right there.
Yeah, he's gonna pick some berries off a tree and just start eating them and go caveman.
He's
You
going to
never
live off
know.
the fat of the land.
So, I mean, with the Packers, though, you have to really just kind of evaluate all your options. I think they're a lot better than people think.
I think so.
You get him a wide receiver 1 and 2.
Well,
Watson,
Allen Lazard is gone. He's gone, dude.
man, here's what I'll tell you. Christian Watson is elite.
He's going to be huge, man.
He's
He really
one of
had
the
a good
best.
end of the year. That was huge for his confidence.
He is one of the best deep threats I've seen in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably the third best rookie receiver this year behind Wilson and Olave. He had a huge year, and I think
that says a lot.
if the Packers want to transition into Jordan Love, that's not the worst move. I mean, you got to play him eventually, and he showed spurts. Everyone said against the Eagles, he looked great. I mean, went in slinging the ball. The mechanics look so much better. The decision making looks better. I think honestly, if Rodgers is like questioning the comeback, like if it's still in the air, don't take the chance. Like just try to trade him, just tell him we're gonna go forward with Love. Like I do it. You got to see what you got out of him, and I like the sparks I seen this year.
Wait,
but yeah,
you ready?
You got to get some wide receiver weapons to help Watson, of course.
If we're just gonna speculate, I want to see Aaron Rodgers somewhere in the AFC East. The Jets, Patriots, or Dolphins?
I have a harder path seeing quarterbacks go to the Patriots because I think I'm not a huge fan of Mac. Neither of us are. I think it's unfair to judge him though with Matt Patricia at offensive coordinator. I think we can both agree on that. But Jets, Dolphins, and Dolphins. Tua's health is up in the air and he's a little inconsistent. But Jets, I'm so in on the Jets.
Staying in green, but here's what I'll say: we both thought Mac Jones, when he's playing the Raiders in the preseason, that he would be bad. You're like, yo, what is he doing? Like, what are these passes he's throwing?
Yeah, he looked rough. Yeah. The mechanics off, the decision making's off.
But I'm not going to blame Mac. He deserves a shot, whether it's in Washington with the Commanders or with Bill Belichick. They're non-committal. It also seems that the Bears might be non-committal. We're with Justin Fields, but I'm not going to get into that right now.
No, they just better be in on Justin Fields. I mean, if you draft Bryce Young and put him in the same situation, you're starting all over again. But I'm gonna just move quickly to one of my teams that were bubble teams, and I think can be a contender next year. We talked about it, the New York Jets, literally a quarterback away. Like, I think this team would threaten the Bills heavily to win the AFC East if they just had Derek Carr, if they just had a Dak Prescott, or Aaron Rodgers, on I would say third year away from retirement, Big Ben. I don't know about that last year, Big Ben, but I mean, dude, they're a solid QB away from this team's dangerous. This defense is elite. I'm in love with Sauce Gardner. He's a very physical corner. Breece Hall is going to come back, and we all know, Breece Hall was a beast before he got hurt. Garrett Wilson is amazing. I really like this team, man. I'm just going to, just keep it simple. Get them a quarterback, and they're going to be duking it out with the Bills for the next couple of years.
Yeah, they're really, really good. I'm going to move on to my next pick. You can call me a hometown guy. You can call me, it's your bias. It's the Steelers.
I like it, dude. I like it. Please elaborate. I like this one.
So they have two amazing wide receiver talents in Deontay and George Pickens. Deontay finished with 0 touchdowns in the year.
Miles Sanders finished with 0 touchdowns before too, and he's a Pro Bowler. You can't let touchdowns really decide your player.
He also had, I think, the most catches in NFL history without a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, he's good.
That says a lot.
Deontay's really good, and so is George Pickens.
I think that the no touchdowns really says more about Steelers personnel more than anything, because they sub him out in the red zone.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. You sub out your best route runner in the red zone.
You know what's funny? He got a 2-point conversion on a fade in the last game of the year. He got a couple of them. But
at least you know what you got going next year. I mean, damn.
Anyway, they're 9-2 this year when TJ Watt plays.
Yeah, TJ's a huge factor for the whole D line.
And the two games they lost were 16-14 and 37-30. They should have won the 16-14 game. And the Bengals game, they had a lead at halftime. against a team that's everyone's projecting to go to the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl.
So they're at least winning a playoff game. I mean, if they win a playoff game, they're most likely slated to face. They're going to face the Bills in the second round, but I mean, you win that, and they probably going to go play the Chiefs. I mean, look, it's going to be a gauntlet for the Bengals. But yeah, I'm huge on the Steelers, man. Pickett, I wasn't really impressed with him coming through the draft. I wasn't impressed with him when he started the year. I'm like, damn, like
you know me.
But now I'm looking back at it. I'm like, you should have started him from day one. He gets that tough stretch for it was like a 4-game stretch, tough rookie play.
I can't even say that, man. He played the Dolphins. His first game was against the Jets, who now we know are a lot better defense than everyone thinks. He played the Jets, the Dolphins, and he played the Bucks. He played the Eagles. He played the Bills. Like, I can't even blame him.
Yeah, I mean, if he went through that first 4 games with the struggles and then got adjusted how he did after the bye week, we're looking at a different team. Like this team, we're probably talking about them playing the Chiefs this week, or we're possibly talking about them playing the Bengals this week. I mean, I'm really excited for the Steelers team. I absolutely agree with you.
I mean, here's the thing: if that happens, they probably don't lose to the Ravens.
Nope.
They probably. Honestly, they might duke it out and get a win against the Jets and the Patriots, and they go 11-5. And
honestly, they had a probability of being the Dolphins. Tua looked horrible that game.
Tua did look really bad. You know why?
That was his first game back.
Oh, that and the Steelers, they play a lot of match coverage and they disguise a lot of coverages. Young quarterbacks struggle. A lot of quarterbacks struggle against the Patriots and the Steelers because Tomlin knows how to disguise defense.
Yeah, it's because with young quarterbacks, a lot's RPO play action. So you're looking at it. When you turn your back to do the play action, you look back. That cover 3 is not cover 3 anymore. That cover 2 isn't cover 2. It's cover 1 with a robber. It's cover 0 and everybody's coming at you. Or you see the whole line, you back up, it's cover 6, and the linebackers are like, yeah. I think Tomlin has done once again a phenomenal job. And damn it, if they made the playoffs, he'd get Coach of the Year recognition once again, as he always does. But I'm going to finish it off with one more bubble team that I think could be a contender, and I think it's the Washington Commanders. I'm very surprised. They have a very good plethora of running backs. They run the ball well. I think you can honestly go into the year with Sam Howell. Very short sample size, I understand, but you're not really in the draft position to take one of the top 3 guys or Young Stroud or Levis. I think you can go into the year with Howell. I think he showed the flashes. He threw the longest in-air pass by a Washington quarterback since at least 2016, since next-gen stats started becoming a thing. Threw a dime to Terry McLaurin. It was beautiful. I mean, he can run the ball a little bit. He's not, he's no just Jalen Hurts, Justin Fields or anything, but I think he can move. I'm very excited for this team. Get Ron Rivera's bum ass out of there. Get you a real head coach. I do like how Ron Rivera can lead men, but I think they need someone who can, elite play call good shots. I mean, he put Carson Wentz in and they got bumped out the playoffs. But very excited for that team going forward.
Man, this team, I think, to be fair, Sam Howell played okay.
He played okay. Yeah.
But if a quarterback falls to their pick, you might have to take a flyer.
CJ Stroud's not falling that far.
Not Stroud. I'm talking about more like
Levis,
Rattler, Levis.
Rattler's not entering the draft. He's probably going to take his 5th year.
Yeah, he probably will.
He's going to take his 5th year, up his stock, try to get right behind. It'll go Williams, Drake May, and then hopefully Rattler can get that 3rd spot.
Hate me for this, but they could even take a fly on guy like Bo Nix. Or in the later rounds.
I also don't know if Bo Nix is entering this year. He might take a grad year too.
But
one person I would gladly take a fly on. One person I gladly take a fly on is Anthony Richardson. The dude's a physical monster. So
in the 1st round, why not?
Why not? I mean, there's so many projects and stuff, but
okay. So your project fails. Who's your backup option? Carson Wentz. Wow. Okay.
Carson Wentz can't start in this league no more. I don't understand what Jadeveon Clowney concussion did to him. He there was a difference. Sure, his 2019 wasn't his 2017 self, but 2019 we both saw he was utterly impressive.
4,000 yards.
To JJ Arcega-Whiteside. Right? 4,000 yards, no 500 yard receiver. Unreal.
Absurd.
Unreal. And he got that concussion. He was never the same. Like, his decision making wasn't always perfect, but now it's just like, dude, what is this? Yeah. So we got Commanders, we got Packers, we got Steelers, and we got the Jets. 4 teams that can go from bubble to contenders. Very excited next year for them. And then we're about to move on to some NBA action. Take the Skyline segment. Kyrie Irving. Would you rather have Kyrie Irving or this player? It's very simple. If you want to look at it from a standpoint of just who's the better basketball player, don't worry about the GM stuff. How will he mesh? Yeah. Danny said something funny in the private chat. When a good thing goes bad, it's not the end of a QB. It's just the end of a world.
Q Drake.
Yeah. Okay, now I get it. And same could go for your starting point guards. But Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's literally having one of the best years of his career. You're finally starting to see the Kyrie that was like, oh, I got a guy next to me that can hit the shot. Kevin Durant, I think it was against the Raptors. I'm not sure. They drew up a play for Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant was like, no, give it to Kyrie. And Kyrie nailed it. Kyrie's been huge for this team, and he's going to have to step it up with Kevin Durant going to be out for a couple of weeks with an ankle injury. That was very scary, but, good thing that it wasn't too serious. Kyrie Irving, we're going to go now. I'm going to put you in a blender, even though I think I know what your name is. I think I know who you're going to go with. Kyrie Irving or Ja Morant?
Kyrie.
You're going to go with Kyrie. Wow, I'm surprised. I know you're a big Ja guy. I think there's an argument for Ja. I mean, he's next level, high flying. The outside game isn't what Kyrie is. The handle isn't what Kyrie is. But, he finishes above the rim. I think he's a better playmaker than Kyrie. I'm also going to go Kyrie. I'm huge on Kyrie. And I think a lot of things with Kyrie is that, like, he gets caught up. He gets slack for not being the one option. Like, Ja's a better one than Kyrie, and Trey might be a better one than Kyrie, but Kyrie is better. I think he's a better basketball player. But I think Kyrie, I'll take Kyrie very slightly over Ja. Ja is such a bright future, though, and so much room to grow. All right, but moving on, we're going to go to another point guard. Kyrie Irving or Trey Young?
I'm taking Kyrie in a landslide.
Yeah.
I think he does anything Trey Young does, but just a little bit better.
I would give Trey the playmaking, but honestly, Trey's inefficiency is like super concerning. Like you can't like volume score, but not volume efficiency. I'm shaking on it. And you know how I used to feel about Trey Young. Like, I thought Trey Young's top 10, better than Ja, better than Dame, right there at the top of the point guard conversation. But I think Kyrie when healthy. I mean, one of the best in the game. We're going to get a little more.
I got one more for you.
All right, if you got one for me, by all means, go ahead.
Kyrie or SGA?
SGA, I think, is a shooting guard.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to do this. But I'm willing to do this. I think Shea right now. I think Shea's the best shooting guard in basketball right now. Like, this dude, he's next level. Get him, please get him a fucking star. Like, I need Chet Holmgren to come out the gate swinging, like averaging 15 and 10, like something like that. Like, get this dude a star. Like, Shea's next level.
Guess what? OKC got a lot of money. You got lots of money.
Lots of young guys. Yeah, I would go Shea over Kyrie right now. Absolutely.
I'm taking Shea over Kyrie as well.
I like that one. I really do like that one. This is my last point guard, at least. And then we can get into some other like ball handlers, stuff like that. I'm not gonna go bigs. That's kind of a hard comparison. But Damian Lillard. These are the two guys that have been duking it out for the and those two in Westbrook been duking it out. Who's the second best point guard in the league for a while? Damn, you go first. I don't want to be that guy.
Dame.
Oh, it hurts me to say it, but like, damn, Damian Lillard is good, man. And I think it's like Kyrie, he's the better handler, he's the better finisher, but like, and they both got range, but Dame's got insane range. He could take a game over, and he's no slouch at the rim. He's got good handles. And I think what both of them have been underrated for a long part of their career. They're not like amazing defenders, but they give effort. And I think Kyrie gives Kyrie's been like actually pretty good on defense this year. Actually, no. I'm gonna go Kyrie Irving. I'm gonna go Kyrie Irving. I just talked myself into it. I'm not gonna let he's a Robin stop me. I think he's better at the rim. He's not as good of a shooter, but he can shoot. He's got mid range and he plays a little bit better defense. I like the Kyrie one, but we can move on to some other ball handlers. If you got one, yell it out,
man.
Because I have one in mind right now.
We can't say Steph Curry. We already know Steph Curry.
Yeah, we know Steph's better. We know Luke is better. I have one. If you
I have one.
I'll let you go first.
Ex-teammates. James Harden.
Ooh. Oh, right now, I take Kyrie Irving. James Harden has been pretty good in Embiid's absence a little bit, and he stepped up when Maxey was out. He's starting to look a little bit like himself, but his old self. But he's just I would say Kyrie. I would take Kyrie.
Yeah, Kai is real good.
Mine was Kyrie Irving or Donovan Mitchell. I think I'd go
as much as Donovan Mitchell has just dropped 70 points and carried the Cavs.
The most efficient 70-point game ever with 10 assists.
I'm thinking Kyrie.
I think I'm going to take Donovan Mitchell, man. I think Shai's the best shooting guard in basketball. I think Donovan Mitchell is just like right there. And Donovan Mitchell, I think, is starting to hit his, this is peak Donovan Mitchell we're about to see right now. I think I'll take Donovan Mitchell. I think he's just as good as a shooter. Donovan Mitchell can play above the rim, and he's an elite finisher. Not to Kyrie's extent, but when you can play above the rim, it gives you an extra boost, I would say. I think he's the better playmaker. I think he's really hitting his stride playmaking. He got a reputation of being a shot chucker. He's never seen a shot he don't like, but I think he's a really good playmaker on this Cavs team alongside Darius Garland. I think I'm gonna go Mitchell just by a little bit. I'm been very impressed with him this year. Do you have one more? I have one last one that's I think a little more obvious, but if you have one, you can go ahead.
I don't have one. You can ask another one.
Okay, yeah. All right, we're going to go Kyrie Irving or Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's been averaging a career-high 27 points per game. He's averaging, I believe, 7 rebounds, and he's averaging measly 3 assists, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, but if you're asking who means more to the team.
No.
Who's better? It's Jaylen Brown.
Better basketball player.
Jaylen Brown.
This is tough because, man, I never thought I'd see the day where, Jaylen Brown is, elite 3-level scorer. One of the better defending guards in the league, even though I see him get cooked sometimes. I refuse to answer. No, I think I'm gonna go Jaylen Brown. But that might go against some of my logic on who I picked Kyrie over. It's tough because would I take Jaylen Brown or John Morant? I don't know. Ja's just I don't know. Ja hasn't been Ja this year. I mean, his true shooting is down a little bit. Damn, my logic doesn't make sense sometimes. When you stack a player against a certain player, when I'm gonna go Jaylen Brown, but would I take Jaylen Brown over John Morant? I don't know. I know I wouldn't take Jaylen Brown over Donovan Mitchell. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't take him over Shai. So some of the logic falls in line, some doesn't. But with that
before we move on, I have to play one more. So I'm gonna do something we usually don't do around here. We were talking about a lot of players. We're talking about, and we're NFL, NBA podcast. I have to share a clip.
Are we going to share it when we share this?
Why?
Me. I'm very serious. And I think if you were to ask people that aren't haters, what everybody on this team is, it'd be me because I'm fast and I have great hands. I can really catch.
He's an idiot.
Jimmy's an idiot. So what's the question we're propping up here? Which NBA player could play in the NFL?
Correct.
We can do this question vice versa next week. Who NFL could play basketball? NBA in the NFL though, we're talking right now. Because if it's all time, I'm taking LeBron James. But if we're talking right now, I wouldn't pick LeBron. He's a little old.
Man, I have an answer. I have my best answer.
Who would you pick?
High flyer, fast, good hands. John Morant.
John Morant? He'd get the Smitty vibes. Too little, can't play. But I mean, Smitty jumps out the gym too. You've seen it. The kid can jump with anybody. He's got great hands. Who would I go with? NBA. I'll stick with one of my guys. I'll go with Jaylen Brown. He's got a nice build, can jump out the gym. He's
Be a good tight end.
6'5". I think he could get busy on the outside. I think he could play a little bit of. I think he could
Kyle
play a
Pitts?
little bit of receiver. Yeah, a little bit of Kyle Pitts action. I think. I mean, staying on the Celtics, I think Marcus Smart could play.
He probably could.
He's aggressive, and
Bro, he could play corner.
Pat Bev could play corner. Pat Bev could play some NFL corner because he's an absolute freak. So I mean, my vote would definitely be Jaylen Brown, though.
If I'm taking a receiver, might take Ja. He making a lot of people.
I think Ja for receiver. I think I'd take JB for a receiver too, and for my corner pick, I'd take Pat Bev.
The last person I'm taking, Luka Doncic.
Yeah, no shot. Him and Steph Curry are cooked. Absolutely. Kevin Durant's cooked. Giannis.
Embiid would be a solid guard.
Nah, I'm putting Embiid. I'm slapping him at left tackle. I mean, what a beast. Giannis could be a tight end, but he play a little like how he's run and dunk. He'd play like Gronk, just run and catch ball. He knows nothing else. Run, catch ball, post up. He'd be a beast with Nick Foles. Just let him play basketball, put that thing up. We're gonna do this question vice versa next week. Absolutely. But before we get out of here, Danny, is there anything you wanted to say?
That's all. I mean, I had that clip queued up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was a great way to end the episode. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you download on any platform you listen on. If you're on YouTube, give it a like. Listen to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever it is, give it a download. We really appreciate you guys listening. And of course, tune in next week. We're going to see which NFL player could play in the NBA, which I kind of already have some thoughts, but get that another time. Make sure you tune in on TikTok. Make sure for our picks this week. Make sure you tune in on Instagram so you can make some money with us. We hit on a couple of our picks this week. I didn't hit on
5 out of 6.
Yeah, we went 5 out of 6. I mean, Jets didn't hit, but and Smitty didn't hit, so we went 4 out of 6.
4 out of 6.
But yeah. No. Actually, we went half. I kind of broke it. Danny went 2 for 3, though. That's the good thing we want to talk about. Danny went 2 for 3. So, guys, follow us on all social medias. You can find us Sideline Summit Pod or Sideline Summit on all platforms. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next week.